Your kids a few dollars a week is a good idea, but are you sending them the right messages about money? How do you know if you're really getting through to them or just becoming a human ATM? Financial professional Kaleb McCarty is here to talk about 5 mistakes parents are making when giving kids allowance. Kaleb, welcome to Daytime.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Do you believe in allowance in the first place?
I do. I believe it's a good fundamental way to start teaching them about money.
About what age do you think?
I think about 4 or 5, when they can actually count money and understand the difference between wants and needs, is a good age to start.
Okay, well...
and I think the earlier the better.
Oh, okay. So what mistakes are you seeing people make when it comes to giving their kids allowance?
The first mistake would be waiting too long to have that conversation. I mean, we're talking about kids that are going to eventually be making big decisions, going to college, taking on debt. So I think the earlier you can start, the better.
All right. Because a lot of kids, their first experience with money is they're in the shopping cart.
Right.
And they see mom or dad putting stuff in the cart. They see mom and dad paying for the stuff. They get home, they get the stuff.
Yeah.
It's easy money.
Exactly.
So, okay, so start them at early.
Yep.
Okay, now, what do you base, how much and how do they earn it? Or do you get them to earn it, or you just give them money for being cute?
Well, don't give them money just free-flowing.
No.
Because then it kind of paints the picture that money grows on trees, it's just coming from anywhere. So definitely, if you're giving them an allowance, make them have chores, make them have set things to do, and then pay them for extra things as well.
Okay, what do you think is a good amount when talking
Well, I would
kids?
say the amount is not as important as the lessons and the conversations that you're having with them about the money.
Okay.
I'm thinking about my kids. I've got a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old. So one thing I found online as I was researching this was to do 4 buckets. 1 for saving, 1 for spending, 1 for investing, and the 4th for giving to others. And I thought that was a great idea.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
What about getting a kid their own bank account? What are your thoughts on that?
I think at a certain age, maybe around 10, I would say it's a great idea. I remember growing up, that lesson, opening a checkbook. Even though we don't use checks that much anymore, it's a good lesson to teach them how to balance that checkbook.
What if your child turns around and asks for a raise? Because kids are pretty savvy these
Yeah, I was going to
days.
say, first of all, expect that, right?
Yeah.
That's going to happen, and I would say it's the first time to talk to them about negotiating, right? Here's how to negotiate. But my question to my kids would be, why do you deserve a raise?
Right.
So.
Do you think it's okay to discuss with your kids how much money you make? Because you are going to get that question as when your kids get older, they'll say, Daddy, what do you make? What do you say?
I think that's a great question. At a certain age, I think that's okay to tell them the whole thing. But again, I think it's more important about teaching them that you have to work for money.
Right.
And the principles about it is most important.
How do you teach them to budget? So that if they want something, they're going to have to wait.
Right.
Because I know one child in particular, you give this child money and it's spent before you
and that brings up a good point. One of the biggest lessons or mistakes that are made out there is bailing your kids out. And I'm a perfect example of that growing up. When you're out of money, you go to mom or dad and ask for more money. At the time, you thought it was great, right?
Right.
However, looking back on it, I think it's a good lesson when the money's gone. Wait till you earn your next paycheck.
Yeah, no bailouts.
Right.
Okay, tough love. But Kaleb, it's good advice. Kaleb McCarty, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be right back.